Ladies and gentlemen, tonight, the 12th through the 13th of August 2026, we are going to have an incredible and beautiful meteor shower. And here's all the details and the weather to know about it. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and start this by talking about the best time to view these. So starting around 9 p.m. to 11 p.m., this is the early evening, so there will be a few meteors. Not the best time, but if you're looking to see it before you go to bed, this would be the time. 11 p.m. to 1 a.m. picking up and some meteors. So this is when we're gonna start getting a bit more meteors to start coming out of the sky. But then 1 a.m. to 4 a.m. is peak viewing hours. This is the best chance to see the most meteors. 4 a.m. dawn, this is when I'd start being kind of less good about it. And then dawn, too bright to see the meteors. So after midnight is the best window. Make sure you're looking at your northeast skies, because that is the space where they're going to be coming from. Alright, now we're going to be talking about the weather, what you should expect while you're outside tonight. So starting off with the future radar, what the radar's going to look like. So the radar's making it look clear for most of the night. A few pop-up showers cannot be ruled out over here near Buffalo and Ava, but that's around 6 a.m. That's when the sun's going to be up, and that's really going to make it hard to see the meteors, obviously. Now, let's go to the next thing to look. Alright, so now let's get into the temps. Probably what most people are wondering about. So, this is taken from 4 p.m. We're still going to have extremely high temperatures. You know the drill, Oklahoma. It's been this the entire year. 105 Fairview, 106 in Fairview, 104 in Eden, 105 in Alba, 103 in Woodward. Yeah, but what's the meteor start? Probably, I'm assuming they're going to start around becoming visible around 5 p.m. I don't remember what it said. But it's still going to be hot around 5 p.m. No, it can't be 5 p.m. Still going to be hot around 5 p.m. However, things are finally going to start cooling down, and most of the state is going to be under the 100s, except Pauls Valley, and obviously this area, around 7 p.m. So that's kind of a sign of relief. But then around 8 p.m., pretty much all the state is in the 90s again, the upper 90s. Still 99, which is still very hot. But, so, 9 p.m., this is when things really start cooling down, and there's a noticeable difference. 83 in Ponca City, 93 in Ponca City, 94 in Stillwater, 94 in Oklahoma City, 93 in Pauls Valley, 92 in Ardmore, 92 in Lawton. But then 10 p.m., so this is when we're starting to get into the core hours. You can see now we're in the 80s. It's cool out here. It's Woodward, it's 89. Boise City, 85. It's not too bad. 89 in Elk City. But then it keeps going down. This is 11 p.m. So this is about when we're almost at peak viewing hours. Almost. We're in the 90s across most of the state over here. But look at that. 82 in Boise City. 88 in Woodward. 89 in Buffalo. 88 in Elk City. Yeah, it's getting a lot cold. Thankfully, this is a nighttime event, so it's going to be cooler out instead of standing into the blazing hot while you're doing this. So, 1 a.m., this is now officially peak viewing hours, and we're going to be in 85. 85s in Woodward, 78 in Boise City, which is just insane. 85 in Guyman, 85 in Pauls Valley, 87 in Ada, 85 in Ardmore, 86 in Lawton. Yeah, it's chilly, especially over here. But then 2 a.m., we're still going to be pretty much the same, not any huge changes. 3 a.m., now we're getting to 75 over here. Might have always been 75. I mean, we're still in the 80s across most of the state, but it's some relief. Some relief. So now we're at the end of peak viewing hours, 4 a.m. It's gonna be 75 in Boise City, 83 in Weatherford, 82 in Elk City, 84 in Altus, 84 in Oklahoma City, 82 in Lawton, 82 in Pauls Valley, 85 in Ada. The 5 a.m. Now we're starting to get into the morning hours. It's gonna be 85 in Buffalo, 73 in Boise City. I wish I was kidding. 79 in Guyman, 82 in Altus, 81 in Pauls Valley. So starting to get into the 80s again and gradually across the state. 6 a.m. It's going to be 71 in Boise City. It might get into the 60s, honestly. We're going to be, now most of the state's going to be in the 80s. Except the Panhandle, which just has something wrong with it, where it's a lot colder than the rest of the state. So then I'm gonna end this off here. 7 a.m. Still gonna be in the 80s, but this is definitely when the sun's gonna be up. So we're gonna conclude the temperature part. Let's get into wind. All right, so here we are on the wind. So we're starting at 4 p.m. just like we did with the temperature. And at 4 p.m., we're going to be heading steadily, winds around 15 miles an hour. Not too bad. But then they start to kind of stabilize near 20 across western Oklahoma, near Weatherford, Watauga. But then at 6 p.m., the winds increase maybe a little bit more. I don't really know. I'm trying to pile 20. I think it stabilizes somewhere between 15 and 19. Then we have 7 p.m. It's still... Oh, I just pulled... Yep, 19 right here. Near, but that's in Texas. But still, it's still going to be a light breeze of 15 to 19 miles per hour. Alright, so finally there's a big change that happens around 2-3 a.m. where we're going to have stripes of winds of 30 miles an hour coming into Oklahoma from Texas, coming in from Amarillo, Wheeler, and Perryton near Buffalo. So 3 a.m. still going to keep going on, and we can actually see winds of 20 to 26 miles an hour. So it's a little bit less of a light breeze, but it's obviously still a breeze. But then okay, that's when it concludes. Alright, so here is probably the thing that a lot of people are warning about. If they can't see the meteor shower because of clouds. Well, here is the cloud forecast. So 5 p.m., there could be an isolated cloud hanging out over here. That would be about 80%. But then it stays clear, just completely clear through 9 p.m. And I don't really see a problem with clouds until about 3 a.m. And that's almost at the end of peak meteor shower hours, and that's just light clouds. And again, this is a model. It could be wrong. And then as we go in the morning, but the start of peak hours, we're really not going to see much across the state in terms of clouds, which that is great. Alright, so this is my honest forecast for what I think we will expect overnight during the meteor shower. So I think it will be clear across most of the state. Temperatures are going to be low in the upper 70s in some places, but most will be lower to mid 80s. There will be little to no cloud cover. I already said that. And a little bit breezy. Now let's get into the next thing about the meteor shower. Now what makes this great is because there was a solar eclipse today in Europe and Spain and Iceland and Greenland, we're going to have a new 0% illuminated moon. So it just makes it perfect. You're going to be able to see it perfectly. There's no moon lighting up the sky. There's a moon. But yeah, the moon is going to be 0% illuminated. It's going to make it perfect. So here is my picture that we made to show everything, to show all of overall what we talked about. And I'm going to end this video off with some tips. Find a dark spot and get comfortable. Give your eyes 20 to 30 minutes to adjust. Bring a blanket or chair to enjoy, and look to the northeast sky and avoid city lights. Us here at Oklahoma Weather Now hope you have a fantastic time watching the meteor shower if you are going to. Goodbye.